All right, let's get into business in the 217, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk, where we're joined by Michelle Ownbey, the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal. And Michelle, a lot to get into. Let's start with somebody who's moving, changing locations. And in particular, you've got Magnolia Lane, Home Decor, and more. Where are they headed to? Good morning. Oh, hold on a second, Michelle. For some reason, the phone was off the hook, so let me put you on hold and patch you back through. Okay, I think now we've got you. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Yes, Magnolia Lane has been over on South 6th Street for almost a decade, ever since Marcy Riddle purchased the business. If you remember, it was originally called 6th Street Home Decor and More and was up closer to Springfield Clinic's main campus, but it's been out on South 6th Street since a few months after she bought the business. And now she is relocating to a space over in the Yard Shopping Center off Wabash. We actually talked just a couple months ago about Fit Body's relocating, and Magnolia Lane is going into the former Fit Body space there on off Wabash. So they took possession of the space December 1st, but of course have a lot to do. They've got 14,000 square feet right now, so that's a lot of stuff. They're doing some inventory reduction sales at the moment, but they have to be out of their current location by the first week of January. So that'll all be happening pretty quickly as they get things moved over to the new spot.
Yeah, just a handful of weeks here for that move to happen, and best of luck in their new location. Talking business in the 217, the Springfield Business Journal. Publisher Michelle Ownbey with us. Let's talk about a couple of banks merging here locally.
Yes, this is some news that came out shortly after we talked last week that Marine Bank is being acquired by Morton Community Bank, which, of course, is based in Morton but operates under the umbrella. The parent company is called Hometown Community Banks. They're fairly large. They have 46 locations in 35 different communities, compared to Marine Bank, which has a big presence in Springfield, but 11 locations overall. So it's going to allow Morton Community Bank to expand more into the Springfield area. But, I think this is a trend we're going to continue to see. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about Town and Country Bank also being acquired. That's scheduled to happen sometime in the first quarter of 2023. So I think we're going to start to see a lot of the smaller community banks being acquired or merging with these larger, more regional banks.
Michelle, there's obviously a lot of other things going on in and around the area, not necessarily directly involved with businesses that are currently in operation and dealing with what some businesses have left behind. And I'm talking particularly about Pillsbury plants. And moving Pillsbury forward, they're actually going to be allowing for the public to take part on some tours. We're going to hear from those behind it during the show tomorrow, but tell us what you know.
Yeah, so I think it's great that Chris Richmond and Polly Poskin are heading up this relatively new nonprofit moving Pillsbury forward. Of course, they acquired the site earlier this year, and they have wasted no time making a lot of progress with cleanup efforts, environmental studies. They had a phase 1 done, all that. So essentially, between the cleanup that's taken place and the environmental studies, they have now determined that it is safe to allow people into at least certain portions of the property, and they're really trying to do a lot of public engagement as far as getting feedback on what people want to see happen here, how the site should be redeveloped. They've brought in some consultants to help with that kind of visioning process. I took part in one of those feedback sessions not too long ago. There's really a lot of options for what that could be, and it was a huge anchor in the neighborhood and the community many years ago, and certainly could be that again. So, as you mentioned, this coming Saturday, they are having a tour at noon, about an hour-long guided tour, open to the public, just anybody that wants to satisfy their curiosity and find out a little bit more about what's going on over there and perhaps provide some feedback. They say, dress warm, unheated, and you're going to be walking in between the buildings, so wear some sturdy closed-toed shoes and bundle up, but should be an interesting trek.
And it really is not going to be too bad on Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies with a high of 45. At least that's the forecast right now. So put that on your docket if you want to see kind of what's going on over there at the old Pillsbury Mills site. Michelle Ownbey, publisher of business of the Springfield Business Journal. Your sister publication, the Illinois Times, has another food week underway. Tell us about it.
Yes, and I think very appropriate for this time of year. It is 217 Southern Comfort Food Week. I have to tell you, while technically Burger Week is the most popular one we do, Comfort Food Week is my particular favorite. We've got some classic dishes that you would expect, the country fried steak dinner, the chicken and noodles, that sort of thing. But also a couple of newer places mixing it up. We've got Beazle Buns, the new bakery downtown, is offering a key lime cheesecake. And Legacy Point Eatery, which we've talked about, that's Dustin Kuhn's new venture out there by Shields. They are doing the Legacy Loaded Shells with a 7-cheese sauce and all kinds of goodies on top. So, again, good excuse to try out some new restaurants if you haven't made it there yet, or visit some familiar favorites. And that's going on through this weekend with $8 price point and specialty off-menu dishes at select locations.
And you can get more details on that at 217foodweek.com. Michelle, tell us how people can get their hands on the Springfield Business Journal.
Well, if you go to springfieldbusinessjournal.com, you can sign up for Biz Bites. That's our newsletter that comes out every Wednesday afternoon, and it's free of charge, kind of a weekly roundup of what's happening in the area business community. And, of course, you can also sign up for the print edition if you want to make sure you get the expanded version delivered directly to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal. Always appreciate checking in with you each week, and we'll talk next week, all right?
All right. Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News.